welcome. Thank you for coming to our celebration today. I'd like to begin by introducing Dean Diane Pillard. Dean Pillard is a strong ally of our TRIO program, and this is the last TRIO day I can introduce her as Dean since she is retiring in July. I am confident her encouragement won't end just because she isn't coming into the office every day, though. Thank you for your ongoing support, Diane, and please share a few words with us.
Thank you so much for including me in today's TRIO Day celebration. We're fortunate to be one of only 3 campuses in the UW colleges to have a TRIO program, and that's cause for celebration all by itself. As a first-generation college student, this program is very special to me. I understand firsthand the variety of obstacles that many of you have faced during your academic journey, and I want to thank the extraordinary TRIO staff, led by Director Julie Janiak-Fenton, for their dedication and compassion. They assess academic weaknesses, facilitate learning, motivate and encourage students to do their very best. But in the end, it's our students, and that includes many of you, who apply themselves and reach individual goals. We're here to celebrate those successes. You know, I was reminded as I walked into the room, if you have a chance to look at the plaques, the number of students who have gone through the TRIO program, who have earned bachelor's degrees and master's degrees at many of our sister institutions, and I think those plaques really speak for themselves. The quality of work that goes into the TRIO program. So thanks to all of you who've been involved. Just a few statistics, not enough to bore you, just a taste. In 2009-2010, 78% of our TRIO students were in good academic standing at the end of the academic year. In that same year, 72% of our TRIO students had been retained for at least 3 semesters. And in the fall of 2010, 14% of our TRIO students were on the dean's list, compared to only 11.7% of the general student body. So a round of applause. You know, I'm very proud of those numbers. That achievement is really marvelous, but I'm also concerned. Why? Because we can't meet student need. While we currently serve 150 students annually, we still have dozens of students on our wait list. Dozens of students who need help, but who need to find help outside of TRIO. And at the same time, TRIO programs across the country, including ours, are facing federal budget cuts. For example, next year, 3 of our staff will have their positions reduced by several hours per week, reducing the amount of time they can spend face-to-face with TRIO students. And since we know that individual advising and tutoring has a positive impact on student success, these cuts trouble me. If they trouble you, I encourage you to write letters, use Facebook, send emails, in an attempt to share your personal stories with your representatives. Let them know how important the TRIO program is to student success, to your success. No one can tell your story better than you, as you'll hear from our speaker today. But I want to personally thank you for joining us here and ask you to just relax and enjoy the celebration.
As you know, my name is Julie Janiak-Fenton, and I have the privilege of directing the campus TRIO Student Support Services program. And every year, when this program comes around, when this celebration comes around, I try to think of a new and exciting way to explain what we do. You know we serve first-generation students. You know we serve low-income students. You know we serve students with disabilities. You know we serve 150 students with 6 staff members. But what does it mean to serve our students? So I keep trying to find that one perfect metaphor, that one perfect description that explains what we do. One year I used the analogy that TRIO staff is a step stool because we help our students reach higher. One year I used the metaphor that we're like a safety net, tightly woven so nobody falls through the cracks. One year I used the explanation that we're like tour guides helping college students navigate the college country. One year I even repeated what I said the year before because I procrastinated too much. This year I couldn't come up with the explanation, so I'm done. Yeah, y'all know me better than that. After some thinking, I realized why I couldn't come up with the explanation. What we do isn't easy to explain because we don't do the same thing for every student. Some students need us to remind them of the order of operations as they work through their math problems. Some students need us to explain proper use of commas so they can write a better paper. Some students need us to teach them how to learn the connections among biology terms rather than just memorizing a definition. Some students need us to be a cheerleader as their energy dwindles near the end of the semester. Some students need us to meet with them weekly to keep them on track with their homework timelines. And some students need us to help them explore different choices of majors and transfer schools, and what are some of those options. And then there's always helping them through financial aid paperwork. This isn't an easy explanation because each student is different and we meet the needs of each student individually. And let me quickly explain or introduce the staff who meet those needs of students. And I'm starting alphabetically. So Barbara Bendlin is our math specialist and academic advisor. Dave Carlson is an advisor and runs the Learning Support Center. Patrice Gebauer is new to our staff, and she runs our front desk. Ann Shu is our newest math specialist. And last, but of course not least, his name just starts with the last letter W, is Michael Workus, our writing specialist. One of the students we've helped individually along the way is Carrie Turk. And Carrie is this year's recipient of our Distinguished Alumni Award. Eventually, I'll ask Carrie to step up here, but first I want to share a few stories about Carrie's path. In addition to what's on the program, where you see that she's earned her associate, her bachelor's, and her master's degree, I want to talk about her motivation. When Carrie started school, she knew she needed a successful job eventually because she wanted to have a dog. And we all know dogs can be expensive. Maybe not as expensive as children, but they can still be expensive. So she came to school undecided about a major and undecided about a career. And she didn't have a major throughout most of her time here at UW-Rock. Maybe there's one or two students out there that can relate to that feeling of indecision and even confusion. Carrie was helped a little bit by her older brothers who both work in IT. They enjoyed their jobs and that gave her a starting point. She took the basic prerequisite courses for business, and along with Dr. Jones, she had many other professors she enjoyed, and I think we're going to hear a little bit about that. Eventually, her path forced her to make a decision about working with people or working with machines. She chose people and became an IT trainer. After finishing her coursework for her master's and moving back to the area, she rewarded herself with her first dog, a boxer puppy. Every student is different, and I would have never guessed that I needed to help a student figure out how to get a dog as part of their college education. Carrie, you made a difference by coming back to work in our community. We look forward to hearing your message today, and I hope that you will step forward and share your words with us as we honor you with a plaque and a small token of our appreciation.
Thanks, you guys. So I have some great memories of being here at U-Rock. I know UW-Rock, U-Rock, but so this one? Okay. So like a lot of you, UROC really wasn't my first choice of colleges of where I wanted to go. I actually ended up here by accident, which ended up being the best thing for me. It was the best experience, college experience that I could have had. I was involved in TRIO in many different ways, and I benefited greatly through everything that they offered. I took advantage of the tutoring, mentoring, and most important, I learned how to make contacts or connections with different people. So through TRIO, I gained skills that have helped me through both my education and my career. I still remember my first day of classes here with, I believe it was an old geography. Dr. Williams was my very first professor, my very first day here, and I thought, wow, this is really going to be great. I had Intro to Algebra with Candace Davis. I had Philosophy with Dave Carlson back there, and I had 3 classes of Econ with Dr. Jones, a couple classes with Mark Fuller, and you know, things were going okay. But after a couple of weeks of classes, and I got my first exam grade back from my philosophy class, it really wasn't as great as it should have been. So, you know, that's where I made my first connection, is I was invited to join a philosophy study group. And I met with this group a couple times, and we discussed different theories that were taught in class. And by the time I had to turn in my next paper, I had done pretty good. I actually remember Dave Carlson giving me a thumbs up through the classroom window as he had my grade and had written great job on it. That was a connection that I made with that group, and I continued to make connections through using the TRIO. I took part in the TRIO study groups. Every week we'd meet with Barb Benlin and go through different math problems and homework assignments together. I utilized the writing specialist for my English papers. You know, so I don't know if I could have made it that far without the help of you guys in teaching me it was okay to step out and talk to people, make connections with different people. So I graduated here, I think, probably 2001, I believe. I should know that. And I transferred to Whitewater. TRIO helped me out once again by helping with my transferring to Whitewater. I remember a group of us, TRIO students, who were all transferring at the same time. We all met out at UW Whitewater campus for orientation and took a tour together. So we had that connection when we were out there. You know, I went to UW Whitewater. I ended up with a degree in public policy and administration with an emphasis in computer and user technology. That's just a lot of words. But, you know, that was great, but organizations weren't really knocking down my door and saying, hey, you know, I want to hire you. So I went on and started looking at graduate schools, and that's where I ended up going for a graduate program in training and development at UW Stout. At Stout, and even at UW Whitewater, I continued to make connections with people by belonging to student organizations. It was through a student organization where I happened to tell the right person that I had an experience creating a database. I didn't think it was going to lead anywhere, but you know, through that connection of that student organization I was in, I was offered a job at UW Stout in their graduate school office. I really wasn't looking for a job because I had one, but by making that connection, I was able to gain some experience and have things to put on my resume. So after finishing my coursework at Stout, I took a 6-month contract position up at Madison, and not my dream job, I'll be honest with you. It was, you know, but I survived. It wasn't the greatest thing, but you know what? I had more things to put on my resume. So when opportunity came to make another connection, to move on with my career, I ran into my mom's friend at Woodman's, who said, oh, hey, how are you doing? What are you doing? And so I, you know, told her what I had been up to, and she goes, you know, my daughter works at IBM. let's go ahead and send me your resume, and, you know, I'll pass it to my daughter and see if, you know, something can work out. Well, she didn't send my resume to her daughter. She ended up sending my resume to Human Resources at Mercy because she knew of a position that would be just right for me. So I accepted a position at Mercy, and, you know, was working there for a little bit, but there's one little thing. I had finished my courses at Stout for my graduate degree, but I hadn't finished my thesis. I know. I too like to procrastinate, and it came time to the point where I was either going to have to pay to retake the credits for my thesis, or I was going to have to hurry up and finish and move on with that. So I made another connection. I was talking to medical records at Mercy, and they offered for me to use them as a base for my study, for my thesis, and I was able to write my paper. I enjoyed my position at Mercy, but I found myself wanting more. So through another connection, I happened to mention to a physician that I worked with at Mercy that, you know, I'm ready to move on. I want more. Well, that physician was at Woodman's again and decided and accidentally ran into the right person at Meriter Hospital in Madison that was going to give me the opportunity to go work there. So I accepted a position at Meriter Hospital a year ago last February. So why am I telling you this? Why about all these connections? You know, I'm not saying that you have to stand in Woodman's and talk to every stranger just to you know, to get where you want out of life. But it's making those connections. It's being involved in TRIO and being involved in all of these student organizations and making these connections with professionals and people, because that's what's going to give you the edge over some of those other students who don't. So, you know, I worked hard for my degrees and to get where I want, but I didn't do it alone. It was TRIO. It was all those people that helped me along the way to get where I am. And my first, and I guess my most important connection would be my mom, because it was my mom's support that helped me from the beginning and to the present for me to get to where I am today. So I hope all of you guys make it through spring and make it through your final exams and just keep that in mind. Thank you.
Among the accomplishments for which we will be recognizing TRIO students among us today is the fact previously noted that a good number of TRIO students make the Dean's List every semester. And on the back of your program, you will see at the bottom a list of TRIO students who, because their semester GPA was 3.5 or better, were named to the Dean's List. And I would like for those of you so listed to stand, and let's give them a round of applause. Thank you and congratulations, students. And now I think it is Mr. Workis's turn.
I have 3 writing awards today: the Clean Sweep Award, the Writing Excellence Award, and the Writing Improvement Award. I'm just going to call them up one at a time, and we'll just hold the applause. We'll have them stand up here, and we'll hold the applause till the end. The first award we have is the Clean Sweep Award. This is for students that have started in English 097 and have completed English 097, 101, and 102 with a grade of C or better. And today we have 2 recipients of the Clean Sweep Award, Ashley Booth and Larissa Dominy. So if you could come up, I have a little award for you. And I guess we don't have Ashley today, but we have Larissa. Oh, no, we'll just keep you all up here. Next, we have 2 awards for writing improvement. The first one is for Danielle Dewey, so if Danielle could come up. Danielle struggled her first semester here at URock, and that's definitely not uncommon. But what was uncommon was the effort that she brought to improve. She met with me once a week this semester, and I'm very impressed with her work ethic. She comes to me with questions, I do my best to answer them, and then she applies them to that assignment and future assignments. So it's a joy working with Danielle, and I hope to see her again next semester.
Oh, you will.
Next for writing improvement is Amanda Asunza. If Amanda could come up. I met Amanda in fall 2008. She was a student in my English 101 classroom, and since then we've worked together every semester, even some work over summer breaks and winter breaks. And Amanda always comes to my office, and she'll very sheepishly say, you know, are you sick of me yet? And that's definitely not the case, and in fact, I'm going to miss her when she graduates in a couple weeks. 2 more awards, one for writing excellence. The first one is for Lindsay Stewart. So if Lindsay could come up. If you look at the dean's list, you'll see Lindsay's name there, but it's very important to note that that doesn't happen by accident. It happens through hard work. We meet once a week, sometimes more, to discuss her writing, and I'm very impressed that she understands that writing is a process, and she improves her writing through constant revision and learning from her mistakes. And one more award is for Julie Dishler. Is Julie here today? I guess we don't have Julie. So yeah, if you want to give a round of applause to my award winners. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
The TRIO program has 2 professional math specialists, and I'm Ann Shue, and I started this past fall, and Barbara Bedlin, who's been with the TRIO program for 10 years. Barbara and I provide math tutoring and encouragement to students who want to do their very best in mathematics. Most of the students we work with have good to excellent math ability. It's our job to convince them they have this ability and then guide them with the practice they need to let that ability shine. Will these people please come up to the podium? Benjamin Adams, not here, Mickey Brown, Allison Harmon, Catherine Hine, Jennifer Perkins, Alex Stowe, Chelsea Vogel, and Josh Winkle. So many UW-Rock students place into beginning algebra, and that placement occurs for many reasons. It may be that they've been out of school for quite a while. It may be that they didn't do well on the placement exam because they just don't test well, or it could be that they haven't acquired the skills yet that they need in order to be in the next class. And students that often or that place into beginning algebra are often discouraged by the long math road ahead of them. Some of them are scared about taking math classes. Yet Barbara and I see these beginning math students blossom and mature into very capable users of the language of mathematics and the abstract reasoning that the study of math fosters. These 8 students, now 5 students, right. Minus 3, standing here, started out in beginning algebra, then completed their 2 required associate degree math courses, obtaining all A's or B's in this three-course sequence. Barbara and I have witnessed their determination, hard work, and tremendous growth in mathematics. This award for math honors goes to not here. Not here. Not here. Katie Hine. Congratulations. Jennifer Perkins. Congratulations. Alex Stowe. Chelsea Vogel. And Josh Winkle.
I know it's nearing that class time, but these are the last awards, and we'll try and get through these fairly quickly. Would these 7 students please come up to the podium? Dale Crawford, Carol Jensen, Nick Levick, Arena Maynard, Tony Merrill, Candy Reuter, and Adam Watson. Every year, the TRIO math specialists ask the math instructors to nominate students for math awards. The instructors nominate students based on these categories: excellence in mathematics. Are you guys done?
We got to get them on camera here.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Yeah. Adam, do the same thing.
Why don't we just slide down that way more?
Yeah. Okay. They're nominated for excellence in mathematics, improvement in mathematics, maybe extra effort put forth in and out of the classroom, including the willingness to help their fellow students learn math, and their positive attitude and the big P, persistence. These 7 students have been nominated by 1 or more instructors for their strong work ethic and their positive influence on the classroom. I feel very fortunate to assist these students as they exemplify the hard work ethic and determination that makes them great students and role models for other people. The first one goes to Arena Maynard. Here's Arena. Her instructor says, Arena has blossomed. Arena will be the first to tell you that math has sometimes been a struggle for her, but she has persisted by getting extra help and working diligently. Once she began to comprehend math, she was eager to work with other students who were having difficulty, thereby increasing her own comprehension while also helping others. She was instrumental this semester in organizing study groups and has been a driving force in motivating others to put in the extra effort it takes to master mathematics. And I'm going to cry too if I look at her. So. Okay, the next person is Candy Reuter. Had to convince Candy to come here today. Candy's currently a student using the Hawks computer math program. Although she was hesitant about using a computerized math program at first, she has assumed the responsibility for learning how to learn on a computer system. She has been willing to work diligently to comprehend every math topic, and she's put in lots of time and effort both in class and with tutoring, thereby setting a very good example for others. Her positive attitude and diligent effort has brought her mathematical success, and she's maintained a sense of humor through the whole thing. Okay, next is Carol Jensen. Got to make sure this is yours. Yes, Carol? Carol also has a delightful sense of humor as she conquers her math. She is also learning to use the Hawks computer-based system. She asks good questions and seeks help on a regular basis. She has provided important insights, observations, and feedback about this new computer program we're using, which those insights will probably help other students as they go on in the future. Thank you. Okay, next is Nick Levick. There you go. Nick Levick's instructor said that she's been very impressed with Nick's ongoing progress in Math 110. He's very conscientious about his work and consistently seeks extra help when necessary. His instructor, he admires his "I can conquer this" attitude. He personifies never give up, just keep working at it. Next is Dale Crawford. Where's Dale? Dale.
He's on this side.
Dale's instructor stated that Dale has always been a very well-prepared student. Dale was always ready with questions and had a great willingness to participate and give input into the class. In the calculus series, which I believe you've taken 2 calculus courses, right? His instructor was able to see it click for Dale. And when it clicks, then look out. He won't be satisfied with B's, but strives for the A. So congratulations, Dale.
Cool.
Tony Merrill. Tony, here's your certificate.
All right, Tony.
I had Tony in my beginning algebra class, and I could tell some days that what I taught would literally give Tony a headache. She would tell me about it. I really have a headache today, Barbara. I would tell her that the headache came from the abstract part of her brain growing so much. Tony has been diligent, determined, and motivated to work hard using her tutorial resources and never, never, never give up. She will complete Math 110 successfully this semester, and she told me recently that she's amazed she's made it through her math sequence. And here she is getting an award for perseverance and determination. And the last person, Adam Watson. Adam started out in beginning algebra just last spring, and he really lacked confidence in his own math abilities. He's tackled every course he's taken with determination and hard work. He's now taking both college algebra and trigonometry at the same time, and he's consistently getting A's in both courses. When I work with him, he wants to know the whys and hows of the material he's studying. He digs deep to know every single last detail because he knows he's going to need this abstract reasoning skills in the future. So listen to this part. He once stated, "I never thought I could do something technical." Well, now he's on his way next semester to UW-Madison to major in computer engineering. Is that technical or not? So, our math students, thank you, congratulations.
We did run a few minutes late, but technically I think I'm still okay if you all leave immediately to get to your 1 o'clock class. If you don't have to leave, help yourself to more food and cookies. Thank you very much.